Okay, don't worry, I'm just testing the sound right now. So if I'm testing the sound, let's see if it works. Can you hear? Not yet. Haven't started yet. No sound.
Sound is bad. Then you can hear your clicking.
Okay. Sound is bad as in what?
Like
Muffled.
robot.
Okay, let's take that one away. Okay, what about now? Does the sound a bit better now? So if I'm just saying that I'm testing the sound for now, we're looking at the trading view market summary with Aussie yen, US yen. Oh, this is better lah. So
Yeah,
okay, sound is in mono, only left ear.
Your screen gone.
Screen gone.
Oh no.
Less echo from. Okay, you guys are helping me with the sound test. Great. Let me just see how to do this.
No, not mono for me.
Is it right ear only still mono? Now does it sound any still left ear, right ear? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, does it any difference? Any difference in sound? Still mono. Okay. Apart from Gen B, is it still mono, still echo for Christina?
It's good, nice, good.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Huh? Now let me just try and add. Let me try and screw it up. Okay. Now if I add in this, it looks like it's terrible. No, it's fixed. No, it's fixed. Okay, it's great now. Christina, is it still echoey? It might be echoey because of my office. So are you still hearing it in mono? Are you still hearing it in stereo? This is better. Now if I just jump on and I type stuff, can you hear me typing? I'm just smashing my keyboard. Now if I'm just typing. Okay, video is lagging a little bit better. Oh, good, stereo can hear a little typing. That's fine because I was just jamming on the keyboard. It should be good.
Yeah, I can hear the type, but it's not as bad.
Not as bad as before. Okay, Christina says, hey, looks like we solved. You know what's gonna happen? This is what's gonna happen. We solved the problem now. 3 o'clock, where we go, all right, let's go live, let's talk about this, and then it stops working. You know, that's how technology screws with me. That's how technology screws with me. Either that or, hey, the webcam might go, or, something crazy is going to happen. But let's look to the bright side. It looks like it's working. It looks like it's working right now, so we'll be happy for now. Okay. Looks good, looks good. That's the Aussie. Super. Alrighty. I'm glad it works now. Remember, help me out, click that thumbs up button, although we have not officially started yet. Okay. Seems like It's working great. Super. I don't dare to change anything at this point in time. Let's see. Okay. How's everyone doing? Hope you're well. Spiro says sound is better now, Jin. Thank you, Spiros. I'm trying to get it to perfect. I'm trying to get perfect sound. Okay. All right. Seems like everything is working fine. Hey, BL. Thank you. It's perfect now. All right. Clear sound. Is it sharp? Is it sharp? Good. Is it? Can it get any better? Probably. But I'll live with that for now. We'll still wait till 3 o'clock before we get started. I've got a little furry mic on my chest. I just realized that YouTube is super laggy. Perfect if you can move market with your voice. Wow, well, let's not ask for too much now, BL. If I can move markets with my voice, I will be a little bit too busy, super busy. We have been doing well. We have been doing well in terms of identifying good movements. Okay, looks like it's well. Alrighty. I don't know what is lagging. I don't know if it's lagging or what's lagging. Okay. Well, apart from that, everything seems to be working good. Just looking at the sound meter as I'm speaking, that's good. Okay. Now let's see if I put on the starting soon video, whether it's going to screw things up. Okay. Let's see. Now, maybe I shouldn't speak too loud. Maybe I should just speak normal. Okay. Good morning, Vel. Hey, JNB. Hey, Kaz. Hey, Jala. Good morning. Hey, Ola. How you doing? Just want to double check, triple check again with you guys that the sound is okay. Do let me know. Is it still lagging? Oh no, it's still
Like this.
on this.
Live stream.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Vel says sound is perfect. Jala says sound was mono yesterday. It's fine now. Very good. Fantastic. Everyone's happy, so I'm happy. I will tell you the funny thing is that I don't know what I did. Probably nothing, probably too much. But it seems to have sorted itself out. So it's back to it. Hey Jimmy, how you doing? We are also live on TradingView. So if you are watching on TradingView, do drop a message and say hi. Let me know that you're there. If you're on YouTube and you're new to the session, do say hi. Let me know where you're joining us from. Love to find out. And we have all the regulars are on. Good to see everyone on the session. If you haven't already, for anyone who hasn't already, the Discord channel link is there for you guys to join, where we can take our discussions beyond this daily market analysis session through onto Discord and through the day. Thanks for that, Christina. Hey, AYJ, how you doing? Alrighty. So let's get started. Thank you all for joining me on this daily market analysis. What we are looking at during this session is the fundamentals. The news that has happened, we had the RBA with their interest rate decision holding interest rates at 4.1%. We saw some delayed moves on the Aussie dollar. I'll tell you more about that shortly. And then we do have some news coming up later on, from memory later on today, and especially tomorrow with the RBNZ, with the interest rate decision as well. And then we do have we'll look at the technicals in terms of where price is, where it could head towards, looking for some possible trade setups on the H1 time frame. Okay, if you do have any questions at any point in time, please feel free, put it into the chat, let me know. I am monitoring the chat, so I'll be happy to address your questions as they come up. Quick disclaimer, any information contained on this webinar should not be construed as advice and is presented as educational material only. So please do your own due diligence, because the contents of this webinar are not intended to be a recommendation to trade a financial product. And lastly, your objectives, financial situation and needs has not been considered, and you should consider its appropriateness to your circumstances. Okay. Hey Rachel, how are you doing? Hello. So with that, let's jump straight into it. What we had last night. Oh, that's catching some attention there. Just getting a little bit distracted with the US yen. That's breaking lower. We'll watch that. What we had last night was a little bit surprising, that the ISM manufacturing PMI went from 47.6, expected 47.8, came out at 49. So it was a good number there on the manufacturing PMI for the US. Probably one of the drivers that caused the dollar index to continue rising to the upside, right? So the dollar index, we were thinking that if it breaks above 106.40, it could test 106.80. It got to that point, and you see that on the news at 10, right? So it rose up, it broke above 106.40, it got to 106.80, 107.80, and at 10 o'clock when the news was released, it pushed the dollar index further to as high as 107, almost 107.20, before now showing some small retracement. Okay, I'll zoom that in a little bit so that we can see easier. All right, so it's just showing some small retracement over the last hour, and then we should see where it could head from here. So that was the news last night. Fed Chair Powell spoke at the round table. Headliners were Powell says Fed seeks stronger labor market. We know that. Focus is on healthy economy. Okay, so no big surprises there from Fed Chair Powell. Then moving on from that, early this morning, but early this trading session at 11:30 a.m. GMT plus 8, we had the Aussie with their interest rate decision. The RBA cash rate was held at 4.1%. Widely expected, no big surprise that it was going to hold at 4.1% for the Aussie cash rates. And on the rate statement that accompanied the decision, right, we had the new RBA chairperson, Michelle Bullock, who said that further tightening depends on data. We know that already. Further tightening of monetary policy may be required. That's the usual statements that they come out with. Higher rates are working to balance supply demand, sees inflation within 2 to 3% target range in late 2025. Okay, so this is actually the main thing. They have said it before, but the main thing to again reiterate and to remind yourself is that the target range for the central bank is 2 to 3%. We are now heading towards the end or late 2023. They're looking at it getting to target at 2025. What this means, or what this could imply, is that we're going to see rates maintain higher over next year, most likely over next year, with that threat of possible another rate hike, because further tightening depends on data, right? So that threat of another rate hike. But overall, I think that what we're possibly looking towards is rate staying at 4.1% for the next year. So I think it's going to be interest rate decisions from the RBA might be a little bit less volatile and a little bit more predictable, right? If they continue to hold rates at that 4.1%. What we saw on the release of the news, this was at 11, let me zoom in a bit. Putting a line there. This was at 11 o'clock, right, on the news release. So I move one across, and you see that it just moved up a little bit and then stayed right there. I was sharing in the Discord channel with you guys that, hey, this is very similar to what we saw in September. All right, I'll show you September here, where at 12 o'clock or 12:30 when the news was released, it did not do too much. It sat right there before the next couple of hours it started dropping to the downside. Pretty much the same thing happened this time round. On release of the news, didn't do too much, and then next couple of hours push to the downside. I had a quick scalp on the Aussie dollar to the downside, closed out as we headed into this session. So made a small couple of pips, I think 10 pips there on the Aussie dollar as it broke, and I wanted to close out. Okay, hey Ayakame, how you doing? So that was the news with the Aussie and the interest rate decision holding at 4.1%. No big surprise. Price came down, looked like it was breaking that support level, rebounded a little bit. Let's see where it could head towards later in the day. At 2:30 before this session, so 30 minutes before this session, we did have the Swiss with their CPI data. Month to month was 0.2, expected 0.0, came out at minus 0.1%, right? So came out at a minus 0.1%. Not something I pay a lot of attention to, but you see that the US Swiss franc on that news, this was during the hour, shot up, tested 0.9216 before retracing, now sitting at the same level, almost unchanged at 9194. Okay, so it's sitting right there. Looks like a little bit toppish, looks like it might push back down. We'll see what where it could head towards moving forward. With that, German bank holiday, and then tonight at 10 p.m. GMT plus 8, we do have US JOLTS jobs openings. Doesn't look like it's going to be a big change. 8.83 previously, expected 8.81. This is the number of jobs openings during the reported month, excluding the farming industry. Very similar to the non-farm payrolls, which is payrolls excluding the farming industry. So if it stays around this level tonight, so if it comes out at the 8.8 level, then we might see, I'm just looking at the previous data here. So in August, we had 9.17. From 9.58 revised down to 9.17, came out at 8.83. August 9.62, came out at 9.58. It looks like it's been on a decline. So I'm just wondering whether we might see this come out a little bit lower. Right, I'm just thinking whether this would come out a little bit lower, which could bring some downside to the dollar index. Because if we look at what happened on the 29th of August, let's scroll back on the dollar index. 29th, there we have it, right there. 30th, 29th, okay. So about that point there. So this was released at 10 p.m. So you see there at 10 p.m. I'll put the line just before. A weaker JOLTS number is going to see the dollar index retrace or correct back to the downside. Right? And it could start quite a big move. I think on the 30th we saw the ADP number push the dollar down further before Friday. Non-farm, we saw that push down a little bit before climbing back up. So this scenario might happen again, right? Not ruling out the possibility that we might see this scenario in August happen again this time round. Here in early October, we might see this push back down. Okay, so that's one thing I'm watching for tonight in terms of the JOLTS jobs openings. If it does come out below 8.7, I'm thinking if it comes up below 8.7, we might see some rather significant downside on the dollar index. But remember, this would be significantly counter trend, so just be very careful with that. Then into tomorrow at 9 a.m. GMT plus 8, we do have the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar, RBNZ, with their official cash rate again expected to hold at 5.5%. Might see, so I'll show you again on the Kiwi on the 16th of August, they held at 5.5 MG. They have been holding it since May, right? May held at 5.5, July, August, now October, if they do hold it at 5.5. Let's have a look at what happened on the 16th of August. Thereabouts. Right there. 16th, there at 9 a.m. Right there. Okay, so you can see that it pushed down a little bit before pushing back up. The Kiwi dollar had been trading strongly to the downside. before it pushed back up and then came back down again. So I'm not expecting big moves here for the Kiwi dollar on that interest rate decision tomorrow morning. I don't expect any surprises. I don't think they're going to say too much in the rate statement. I don't think it's going to change too much. So I'm going to treat it as if I'll be a bit more cautious, but I wouldn't be too concerned, or I wouldn't try and catch any major moves from this news release. Okay. BL, I don't know how to trade now since market already into deep trend for dollar pairs, too low to short and buy, counter trend, how to manage the situation. Okay, BL, I would say that so the question from BL is, how do you trade now given that a lot of pairs are too low to short and to buy will be a counter trend? I would say keep it short term. It's never too low to short. It's just how closely are you going to manage it, because too low can be lower. I'll show you an example here on the Kiwi dollar. So that's a very good question. On the Kiwi dollar, it might look like it's too low with a support level at 0.59, but we could have a next, right? If the dollar continues to strengthen, we do have another next support level here at 5860. And below that, right, you can see that we don't have any major levels near term, but if you cast back into last year, during the same period, we did see the Kiwi dollar all the way down to 0.55, almost 0.55. So still possible. It's not too low to short, it's still possible. There are pairs that I probably wouldn't touch, but there are also opportunities on the other pairs as well. Okay, I hope I answered your question there, BL. And Graham's asking, what any idea why Aussie lithium stocks are down some 50%? Not, I haven't looked at any Aussie lithium stocks, Graham, but possibly if you do join the Discord channel, let me do some research, let me do some reading. I could get an answer there for you. All right. And hey, Eter, how you doing? Hey, D-Train, how you doing? So, and then we have the non-farm, ADP non-farm and ISM services tomorrow, which I'll tell you more about during our session tomorrow at 3 p.m. GMT plus 8. So with that, let's look into the charts. That one's done. I'll take that one away. So it broke to the upside. Now we're looking at this. Hey, Booba, how you doing? That's the full move on the dollar index. We can see that while we have this level here, catching that previous swing level, it coincides with 23.6. Okay, so that works. I like that. Let's look for next level up first off. All right, so we have this point up there, 108. We do have a little bit of a level here at 107, but the main level here, next big one here, I will catch this one here at 107.75. Okay, I'm happy with that. Right, why I'm happy with that is because we're catching this point here and also this point here, and if I drag this line right across, then also this point here. Okay, so 107.75 will be the level to pay attention to. Then back to the current. There we have it. Okay, so that's the picture for the dollar index. Now, I would look at these points. Okay, so what I anticipate here on the dollar index, look at the news. We only have the GLTS opening. Looks like, or rather, I'm anticipating possibly some downside, maybe some bad news, but it could mean that the dollar could consolidate. Okay, what's likely to happen is that we could see it trade along this level, right? Consolidate along there. I would love to see a push back down to about this range. So to about this 106.60 to 106.85 range. But I do think that we could see the dollar index push back up again towards 107.70. Right, so come down, test this level, which is a resistance turn support, before pushing back up again. Or it could just consolidate before pushing back up this way. I like that. Okay, so what I'm looking at here on the dollar is still continued upside to 107.75. Okay, but we're looking at consolidation at 107.20 or retracement to 106.80 first. All right, so what this means is that overall, if it does retrace, I'm not going to be trading on that dollar weakness. I'm still looking for that upside. I'm still looking for that dollar strength. I'm only trading, most likely only going to be trading towards dollar strength. Okay, that's why I'm saying, okay, I'm looking for it to come towards 107.75, which is about there. It could consolidate along this range. It could retrace a little bit, but overall, I'm only trading towards that dollar strength, a continuation of the dollar strength. Make sense? Let me know. And if you can, help me out, click that like and subscribe button, that little rocket ship button on TradingView as well. So with that painting the view of the dollar index, today being the 3rd of October, then looking at a Kiwi dollar. Okay, Kiwi dollar yesterday we were saying, hey, if the dollar weakened, we could see this push up. It didn't. In fact, it broke down from that 50% level and pushed down towards that support at 0.59. As we were talking just a couple of minutes ago, continuation to the downside, this level, this support level needs to break. It needs to break. Beyond this point, we have big downside, but I think on a non-farm payroll week, we're possibly going to be a little bit more careful, looking for that dollar strength. What I would be looking for is below 5895. Take profit 35, stop loss very tight, no more than 15, no more than 20 pips. Right? Break that support for the continuation to the downside for the Kiwi dollar. H4 time frame, beyond this level, we have next level around there, the previous swing low. Okay, so you could even be looking at a view like that with that consideration of that support. What I would, actually I would prefer this like that. So 35, 15 to 35. If it does break lower, then you could move this to break even and then try for that 55 pip profit level. Okay, so Kiwi dollar, continuation of the dollar strength, we'll be looking to sell Kiwi down 0.59, 5895, 15 to 35. 0.5895. Stop loss 15, take profit 35. There we go. Most welcome there, Jordan. Thank you. Hey, Goju, how are you doing? Okay, so that makes sense. Then onto the Aussie dollar, right? Aussie dollar, we were looking at the upside, downside reaction along that 61.8 level. I did get into this to the downside towards that support level last night as it broke that level, that 61.8 level. So that was a good 55 pip move to the downside. Let me know if you got onto that as well. Hey Lainey, how you doing? And then as we were talking about this, the news did come out. I think, in fact, I closed out quite early. I closed out at about 40. If I'm not wrong, I closed about 35 or 40 pips on the Aussie dollar. Okay. Then with the Aussie RBA rates decision, we saw the Aussie dollar break to the downside, breaking that support level. Could be, you could still be in a trade. I would think that still going to the downside. If you did not get into a trade on the Aussie so far, then looking at H4 time frame, zooming right out, you'd be looking at the major swing level here at 6.1. That's a little bit far away. Then we have another level here at 6276. Let me zoom in a little bit here, have a look. I would actually like this point. This area, but I would say this will be bottom of the area. So 6240. So now coming back to the current. We can take this one away. I'm just being a bit more pedantic with keeping my charts a little bit less liney. These ones away. Okay, so you can see a big push to the downside. Bollinger looks like it was outside, it's come back in. Looks like it's going to continue to the downside. That makes sense. With the news this morning, with the dollar strength expected, the safer option will be to look for this to break below the recent low, well, that low point there. So maybe even below 0.63. You would have a 50, 60 pip take profit. You would do a no more than 30 pip stop loss. Not the most ideal stop loss at this point, but I like it because it's a big continuation to the downside, breaking past this point. I think that's reasonable. I might even say 96290. Stop loss 30, take profit 50. Right, I want it below 0.63, so I have a round number level here protecting it. I would enter there, get that. Okay, so 6290, 30 pip to 50 pip. Sell 0.6290, stop loss 30, take profit 50 to the downside, driven by the RBA interest rate decision and also the expected continuation of strength on the dollar index. Right, so main thing is that I wanted to break below this previous low and also that 0.63 round number level. Once it breaks past that point, I would say continuation to the downside. Okay, next up. So far so good. Any questions, let me know. US yen, right at the start I said I was getting a little bit distracted. I was seeing the yen drop. This was yesterday's view. You should not have entered this because of this move right now. Okay, it did not go up to, oops, it did not go up to that level of the top of the channel. It did not even come close towards, it came close, but did not hit 150. So I would say be a little bit more careful on the yen. I don't think it is ready for that big move down yet because we're still expecting that dollar strength, right? We're still expecting that dollar strength to push up. Now this retracement might look like it might come down to test 23.6, right? So it might come down, test 23.6, fake everyone out thinking that we're going to see a big drop on the yen and then it pushes back up again. So I don't think it's ready yet to sell. I actually and still anticipate that it might do this and push up, right? And we haven't heard anything from the Bank of Japan in terms of, okay, I can take this one away. I don't need that line. So we haven't heard anything from the Bank of Japan in terms of an intervention. So I think this retracement is a healthy retracement before a push back up again. Ultimately, I think there are going to be a lot of orders along this 150 range, right? There are a lot of orders along this 150 range. This might be front running it a little bit, so I do still want to see it climb back up. So what you could actually look out for is possibly, let me just think, a test and reject. So 149.70, tight stop loss. So what I'm looking for is maybe for it to breach down a little bit before pushing back up. Then you could even be looking for that 60 pip move, tight stop, no more than 20 pips. 38.2 is right there. Okay, so what I'll be looking for here on the US yen is this. All right, I'll be happy to see the yen. Let me just do that again. Clean that up. I'll be happy to see the yen retrace. I think it's a healthy retrace for a continuation of the trend to the upside. So long as you don't hear anything from the Bank of Japan about intervention, it looks like it could come down to about this range between 38.2 and 23.6. What I'm looking for is for it to come down, for it to continue to bounce back up, right? And if it bounces back up, then I'll be looking for about 149.65. Then I'll be looking to buy it back up towards the top of the range on the US yen. There we go. So come down, test around this level and push back up. If it breaks 38.2, then I would cancel that idea. I'll cancel this idea to buy back up because if it breaks 38.2, I think it's likely to come down towards the bottom of the channel. Okay, so I don't think 50 is going to be worthwhile doing. So I think that's the view. If it comes down, test around this range, bounce back up, I'll be looking to buy 149.65, 65 pip take, 20 pip stop as a continuation of the trend and the dollar strength. So buy 149.65, stop loss 20, take profit 65 on the US yen. There we go. Okay, I'll be happy with that. I like the look of that. I like the look of that. Then I love this one. I did this on the pound dollar. I was sharing this with you guys in the Discord channel. I think I was sharing it just as it was breaking that level. I think I shared it about 5 or 6 o'clock. We were talking about this at 3. Head and shoulder pattern with that neckline at that 61.8 level. So we said, hey, head and shoulder breaking that neckline, 61.8, significant level, looking for it to break. This was a good trade down, right? Strongly to the downside. Closed out this trade, I think I closed out at about a little bit earlier, about 80, I think about 80 pips, right? Closed out at that point on the pound dollar. Let me know. This is one of the times where I really stuck with a chart pattern, especially the head and shoulder pattern, because it worked out so nicely based on the key level, breaking a level, coming towards the bottom of the channel. It all fit nicely. Let me know if you got into that same trade. Okay, so take all that away because it's done already. That's done as well. Take that away. Okay, so now look at that. Look at the pound dollar in this case. Fantastic. High five, Rachel. Good job. Okay, so you can see that the pound dollar has been in that trend, that channel to the downside, testing the top, coming down towards the bottom, testing the top again. Right now, it's broken this level and it's towards that bottom of the channel, right? It's at the bottom, it's coming close towards the bottom of the channel. No big UK news apart from the 30-year bond auction. And not much else. Financial services PMI tomorrow. Why I'm checking this is I'm just wondering, is there a reason or would there be a reason for the pound dollar to bounce back up? Right? Apart from it finding the bottom of the channel and bouncing back up. So I'm just thinking about that. And you see that at this point, 23.6 would be where we last saw it. And that's that previous swing low level. Okay, so that makes sense. If it does break down, then back to the H4 time frame. So this is somewhat, answering BL's question about it being too low. We do have another level here on the pound dollar. Right, so I like this one more than the two tails. This one at least is a bit of a solid body there. So I'll find this as the next support. Back to the current. Okay. I would not do anything on the pound dollar at this point. Right? If it does break down, then it might find that bottom of the channel with the support level quite close, 1.20 being in the vicinity too near. I wouldn't be very happy selling this down. So it's not always the case that you have to sell it down. In fact, in this case, I'm even considering the idea that if it does bounce back up, given that it's been in that channel, could it bounce back up and test a little bit higher before trending lower again? Right? So if we drag this right across, you could see this. Okay, I know what you can do. I know what you can look for. Something to look forward to is now that it's found a little bit of a support here at 1.2060, very close. Look for it to retrace. I want to see it come back up, test this level before pushing back down again. Okay, that might play out together with if we see the dollar index trade along here or push down a little bit. Some weakness on the dollar before that recovery in strength could see the pound dollar push up a little bit, some dollar weakness pushing the pound dollar back up, and then after that pushing it back down towards the support. So in this case, what I would be looking for would be 1.21. I'll be looking to sell 1.21. Stop loss 20 pips. Keep it very tight. Take profit. We could go down to even 80 pips to the downside towards the bottom of the channel, which would coincide with that support level. I would be very happy to see that. So right now on the pound dollar, what I'm looking out for is a retracement towards that 23.6 level, a rejection of that level, and a push back down. Okay, so sell 1.21, stop loss 20, take profit 80. Fantastic. If that works out, I'll be super happy. All right, I'll sit and wait for that. Me also, I'll take this trade. Hey, if I happen to miss the timing, it's Spiros. If it happens and I'm not watching it, I did not put it onto Discord, let me know, remind me about it, or get me aware of the movement, because I really do want to get onto this. This would play out very nice. All right, share it in the chat, share it in the group if you do get onto this trade. Okay, so pound dollar sell at 1.21, stop loss 20, take profit 80. But 1:4, who would not like this trade? No one. With that, then onto the euro dollar. What we were talking about this yesterday, reaction along 1.055, buy or sell as it reacts to that 50% level. It dropped, it hit that previous low, right? So that worked out very nicely. I'm just looking at that line. Okay, so that worked out very nicely. I did not hold on the full time for this because I was distracted with something else. So I only had a small trade on the euro dollar. I think I was more focused on the pound dollar. That's why I didn't hold the euro dollar too long. But if you did, let me know. How did you go on the euro dollar? Right, so it came all the way down. It broke the support at 1.0492. Now turned resistance. We can take that one away because it's broken. Now with this, again, very similar to what we saw on the pound, or what we're seeing on the pound dollar, could retrace up to 23.6 before pushing back down again. Okay, so looking for that move. Retrace, push back down, H4 time frame, zoom right out. Let me see, where are we? Past this point, we have, I wouldn't consider, these are a bit too near and too small. So I would say the next major level we have would be at this point, which we last saw in November 2022, and I'll just put in this one for good measure. That point there. Okay, that was in November 2022 as well. Back to the current. It's a big move. Let me just check that again. So we're here. I still like this level. I mean, we could go for a couple of levels in the middle here, but I don't like how it's not a strong level, not super strong. Okay, we can put this as a point of reference at that point there. But I still like it on the major support. So, okay, we have pound dollar. We're looking for this to push up and come down. Euro dollar will be quite similar. But euro dollar might retrace a little bit more. So what I would say on the euro dollar is that it could come up to about, as long as it stays below 38.2, then you could be looking to sell it back down. If it breaks 38.2, we might see it stay within this range of between 1.0490 and 1.0620. Okay, so the main level here to pay attention to, I would say, is 38.2 on the euro dollar. So if it comes up, test, might be looking to sell down 1.0485, stop loss 20 pips, take profit a good 90 pips to the downside. I think that's relatively straightforward. I'm just considering the chance that it might stay within this range. And because we have been talking so much about that dollar strength, what if the dollar doesn't continue strengthening? What if it weakens? So 1.0530, stop loss 40 pips, take profit 80 pips. Okay, so we know that that would be the trending scenario, but let me give you a counter trend scenario here, or ranging scenario here. Euro dollar, we'll do that. Okay, euro dollar, we could look to buy on 1.0530, stop loss 40, take profit 80. 30, stop loss 40, take profit 80. This is ranging scenario. There we go. There we go. Okay, well, let's say DXY weakness scenario. There we go. So we've been looking at all that dollar strength scenario. What if it just breaks and goes all the way down? Then we know we can still be buying the euro dollar back up. Still a good 80 pips potential on the euro dollar. Okay. And that would just be a straightforward sell on trend. Then on to the US Swiss franc. Oddly, you are seeing the dollar retrace back down now, but we are seeing the Swiss franc push back up. Resistance level here at 0.92, almost 9220. Beyond this would be 9240, makes major level is right there now. Next major level would be up here. 9326. Okay, so what I'm looking at here now is so this did not happen, take that away. Could this form first question is there a risk of a double top formation? All right, if the double top does not form, so we don't see it consolidating here before pushing back down, then it will be a relatively straightforward look to go 9230, take profit, good 90 pips to the upside, stop loss 30 pips, or 1:3, right? A push, break above that resistance towards the next level if a double top does not form. Okay, so how do you know whether double top is going to form? It's whether it consolidates like that before pushing back down. Okay, I want to see a breakthrough. So 92 Swiss franc buy, 0.9230, stop loss 30, take profit 90 pips to the upside. Okay. It's just a bit odd that the dollar is retracing, but we're seeing the US Swiss franc push up. So be careful with that. US CAD pushing up, did very well on that. I did not get onto this trade. If you did, I know someone who got onto the US CAD buying to the upside. But if anyone else got onto the US CAD towards upside, let me know. Now breaking above that resistance level of 1.37. Back to the H4. And 1.37 cleared. So we're looking at the next major level here where we saw the last time we saw a double top. Oops. At this point. All right, so back to current. If it does break up, straightforward, right? That dollar strength scenario, pushing this up, needs to break above that previous high, so 1.3720. 3720. Stop loss would be about 30, 40 pips, 80 pips. I just want it below this resistance turn support level. All right, so does that make sense? Continuation to the upside, big push up, yes. Tomorrow we do have OPEC meetings as well. Yep, so Chris says, I'm going to wait as we might see a complete trend reversal. Think that the dollar could push a bit higher and WIR USD could bottom around 105 or 104, 1.045 for the week. Yep. Quite possible. Think it could get up to that point. Euro US, yep. Yeah, I think it could find that as a bottom and push back up. That's why I'm thinking of that upside push. Typically, I would say that maybe it's worth a risk to do a counter, but with the way it's pushing, I would say that we could see this push up to this level before it starts reversing. Okay, so US CAD 1.3720 by 1.3720, stop loss 40, take profit 80. Profit 80. Just wait for confirmation before entry or have a stop loss. Yeah, for sure. Always have a stop loss and always wait for confirmation. Needs to break a level or needs to retrace past the level before you do jump into your trades. I think out of all these, I like the Kiwi. Aussie looks like it's hesitating a little bit. The yen, hoping it's going to retrace a little bit more before it continues that push. I like the Kiwi. I like the yen a little bit. I definitely want to see this push on the pound dollar. Euro dollar might be a good counter trend back up again. So not super keen on the Swiss, the CAD, or the Aussie at this moment. All right, and then on to gold. Gold, yesterday we were saying breaks 1840 could get to 1825. Look at what it did. It broke 1840 straight down towards 1816 before retracing. So way past 1825. Did a couple of quick scalps on that. Now at 1823, I am anticipating a good retrace. retrace. 1830. What are the main pairs that you trade all the time? These are the main pairs I look at all the time. These are the only pairs I look at. I don't look at all the cross pairs. Unless you guys ask for it, I don't look at the cross pairs. I only look at the majors. A bit boring, but that keeps me going. Gold, think that could retrace. Is retracing possibly towards 1830, maybe even 1840. It's due a bit of a retrace. So I think that we could see gold test 1840 before pushing back down again. So I'll be looking for a rejection, like what we saw yesterday, right? This was yesterday's level, so I'm looking for a retest and rejection of 1840 to get back down to 1816. Oh. All right, 1816 back here. So a test and a reject. Question there from Jala is, can you check gold on 15-minute, because it seems it's forming higher low and higher high? Yep, it is. It is higher low. So low, higher low, higher high. It is pushing back up. That's why I think it's going to retrace. Not even on the 15. Even if you looked at it on the H1 time frame, it is starting to push back up. That's why I'm thinking that it could retrace back up to the 1840 level. So you're right there. Can we trade on that? Not yet, not right now. I would say that if you want to buy it up, it's going to be risky. It's going to be risky. Needs to break above 1825, maybe even 1826 before I would be, if I really had to, then 1828 before I would buy it up, possibly towards 1840. But I would naturally prefer to let it go up, test and reject, and then sell it back down. Okay, so that's the set of plan for today. We might see a number of very good opportunities, or we might be sitting and waiting quite a bit. With that said, I'll see you on Discord. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. In the meantime, trade well, trade safe. Thank you, Vel. Thank you, Lainey. Thanks, everyone. Take care now. Bye-bye.